Right, now is the fun part. It's something we do every year. Is an artist comes and conducts a workshop. The most wonderful thing about this is, besides as fellow artists you enjoy the work, is that it gives you an opportunity to listen and ask questions from someone who's been there and has done it. And it's a great opportunity for you, and I hope you're going to take advantage of it. Mansa K. Mussa is a visual and performing artist, arts educator, and arts consultant. He's a native of Newark, New Jersey. He has used the camera to document the unfolding of human events for the past 34 years. Mussa has traveled extensively in the United States, Cuba and the Caribbean, West Africa, South Africa, and Europe. He earned a BA in Media Arts and Television Production from the New Jersey City University and studied visual arts with Ben Jones, traditional West African dance with Rhonda Mormon, and photography with the late Tom Reese. During his lifelong career in the arts, he has been a visual artist, collagist, is that how you pronounce that? Good. Collagist, dancer, percussionist, graphic designer, writer, mask maker, and bag maker. The artist is best known as a photographer of concert dance. His body of documentary work includes The Art of Dance, Cuba Diary, A Glimpse Inside the Hidden Republic, Eyewitness, The New South Africa, Ghana, An African Portrait, Pieces of a Dream, New College, and the historic Newark, A Day in the City photo documentary. Over the course of 35 years, his art, collage, and photography have been presented in 19 solo exhibits, including 3 retrospectives and numerous national and international group exhibits. His photographs have been featured in print media on posters, calendars, brochures, CD covers, postcards, and videos. They've been published in several books, including the landmark Reflections in Black, A History of Black Photographers, 1840 to the Present. I could go on. There's a long list of accomplishments, but I'd be taking away time from him, which would be a disservice to you. So it's my great pleasure to introduce for our workshop today, Mansa K. Mussa.
Good afternoon. How's everyone doing? Speak up, students. How's everyone doing? Good. Fantastic. That's what I want to hear. So am I. It's really a privilege to be here to speak with you this afternoon. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my life in the arts, which has been a journey that's been going on for the past half century, and probably a little bit more than a half century. That's how long I've been an artist. And I'm going to also show you some of my work, and then we're going to have some questions and some answers. And if you have no questions for me, I'll have some questions for you. All right? So first, my journey. And part of it is legend, some of it's fact, some of it's truth. So you decide. As I said, I've been an artist for over half a century. My parents and my siblings tell me that when I was 2 years old, I started drawing. And that's the first thing I ever remember doing in life. I remember drawing. I am the middle of 7 children. Okay, I was raised in Newark, New Jersey. My mother, who was a twin, had a sister who was a twin. So about 2 years after I was born, my mother had a set of twins, girls. And she found out that if she gave baby brother, which is me, a brown paper bag and a pencil, I would draw. And I would draw, and I would be happy, and I would be quiet. So my mother encouraged me to draw. So I found out that if I could use this brown paper bag and this pencil, and I could draw, I would not only make myself happy, but I would make my mother happy, okay? I found out that I could do something that brought people joy, and that's really what I learned to do with my art, to use my art to bring people joy, to use it to heal the community. And that's the real power of my art. I'm not just doing it for myself. I'm not just doing it for commercial purposes. I'm using my art to heal the community. Every time you create a piece of art and you present it as you have today, you make someone look at this art, and they may not like it, they may dislike it, but what you want to do is you want to create a response in them, okay? You want to get their thought processes going. I was going through the tunnel today, and I was looking at the fabulous work, and thank you for the work. I have to tell you that. Looking at some of the work, and I was with 2 interns, and we were trying to figure out, how did you do this work? Okay, we're trying to figure it out, and that's what the purpose of art is. You're supposed to get a response. So, in my career, I've been trying to get a response from people by creating different forms of art. I started out as a drawer. When I went to Chancellor Avenue School in Newark, New Jersey, I learned to read comic books. And the comic book artists were my first teachers. I learned to draw by looking at comic books. And when I was in grammar school, they called me the comic book kid, because instead of having a bunch of books in my desk, I had a bunch of comic books. Took those comic books and started to cut them out and glue them together and started making something called collage. In my family, we used to get a magazine that came in the mail called Life magazine. And everybody in my family knew that they had to give me the magazine first, because I was going to look at these pictures and say, one day I'm going to travel around the world and I'm going to take pictures. But they also knew after everyone in the family saw the book, they had to give it to me again, because they knew I was going to take those pictures, I was going to cut them out, I was going to glue them together, and I was going to make a collage. I was going to make something completely different. So I go to high school and work with a teacher, Nettie Thomas, who's one of my mentors, and she taught me to make masks. The first time I ever exhibited my work, I was 17 years old. It was at the Newark Museum, which is one of the great museums in this country. She told me to not only submit a mask for this competition, but also to submit a painting. And she pushed me to do the mask and the painting and to submit them both. And submitted them both. They were both accepted in the competition. And so on the day of the opening reception, I went to the Newark Museum, and I saw my painting on the wall, and I saw a mother standing in front of my painting, and she was telling her daughter exactly what I had put into the painting. And then she was telling her daughter a lot of other things that I hadn't put into the painting. And I realized at that moment, you know, you have a special power in your hands. You know, you have a special power to communicate what you're thinking about, but also to create another world that you're really not thinking about. People are seeing your work and they're responding to it. There's something in it that makes them respond. And this is your duty as an artist, okay? To create art at a high level that will make people respond to it in some way, to think and to act. So I decide after high school, I want to figure out what I need to do. Couldn't figure out whether I wanted to go into the military or college, so I took a couple years off. What I did, though, is I bought a little used camera. And I didn't know the camera was broken, but I figured out a way to use this camera. So I'm snapping and I'm taking pictures. I had gotten frustrated because I couldn't find the pictures that I wanted in magazines to make my collages, so I started taking pictures with this little used camera. Lo and behold, I'm shooting fashion shows and I'm shooting birthday parties and doing little portraits in the community, and people are starting to say to me, wow, these pictures are really nice. Can I buy them? I said, buy them? I said, yeah, you can buy them, sure. You know, I said, wow, I'm spending all this money, you know, getting this film developed. I said, sure, you can buy them. So I said, wow, maybe a career in photography. I worked at the Newark Museum full time, and no, the Newark Public Library. So I had these stacks of books about photography and the lives of photographers. So that became my university between my high school and my university days. I go into the stacks, I look at photographs from around the world, I read about the experience of photographers, and it crafted me and taught me how to do everything from take pictures to develop black and white film. Okay, the first darkroom I had was in my home, was in my bedroom. My parents, bless their hearts, they knew I was an artist. They said, hey, he's doing something else. So I was covering the windows with drapes and blankets during the day, and I hooked up my darkroom in my bedroom. I dripped chemicals. I had a blue carpet, and you could see the line of dark chemicals going from my bedroom to the bathroom. There were times I had to be in the bathroom alone because I was using the water. My parents said, okay, he's doing something else, leave him alone. One day I was taking pictures, and I gave the pictures to someone, and they asked me, do you have a card? And I said, no. I used to write my name down on a piece of paper and to give it to people. But I was also a graphic designer who designed business cards for people. I said, why don't you design a card and just give it to people? I did. Same week, got my income tax check, went to New York and bought a professional camera. And so with my business card and my new camera, I became a photographer. And that's when I became a professional photographer in 1977 and really had figured out, you know, there's something about this that makes you good at it. And over the years, I learned the Creator gave me many gifts. Okay, I learned to dance on the concert stage and spent 28 years on the concert stage, worked as a percussionist and did all kinds of things. But the one gift that I have as an artist, I'm able to look through that viewfinder and press that button at the decisive moment. Okay, that's a gift. Okay, everything else in the arts, I've had to work hard at it. But I found something that was a gift. Okay? And I'm saying to you, find that thing that's a gift for you, okay? Find that one thing that's a passion, okay? And develop that passion. You don't know where it will take you. Went to college and studied with a master there, Ben Jones, a great artist whose work has been exhibited all over the world. And he found out that I was a student who did my assignments, who came to class prepared and came to class on time. So he said to me, listen, what are you doing on Sunday mornings? You want to come to a dance class with me? I said, a dance class? I was about 20 years old. I said, no, dance class? I said, okay, I need something to do. He used to come and pick me up. He didn't have to ring the bell. He didn't have to honk the horn. I was standing outside waiting for him. He said, good. Went down to this dance class, and he and I would start exercising. 2 hours of exercise. Now, I said, now, if our dancers doing this before every class, this is crazy. But what he did is he created this dance body in those 2 hours of exercise. So from these days where I was stumbling around in the dance studio, and I said, you know, I don't know what I'm doing, but this is fun. I like this. You know, I said, I'm going to keep doing this. So spent 28 years on the concert dance stage, performing traditional West African dance from the old Mali Empire. If you see hip-hop dancing now, that's the precursor of hip-hop, if you see that dance. And went on to teach it, okay? Because I went to this little dance class, connected myself with world-class organization. I taught for Alvin Ailey, I taught for the Dance Theater of Harlem, taught at my alma mater, just from trying to figure out something else to do in the arts. And made a pretty good living at it, too, you know. Retired, I can still dance. I tell my students, if you can walk, you can dance. So I can still walk, so I can still dance. I just can't do it on the stage anymore. But made a very good living at it. And now you talk about your passion. Okay, I learned to dance, learned to teach dance. But it brought me a whole nother world because I learned to dance, I learned to teach dance. I also learned to light dance. I learned to design sets and costumes for dance. I became a writer. I reviewed dance concerts and I wrote about them. I wrote 2 ballets for dance and produced and directed them. So find that passion, that little thing that's going to open up a whole nother world for you, all right?